Bowtie 5 here, and I'm coming to you with another discussion on pants. So we discussed the history of pants. Now we're going to talk about styles of pants, particularly pleated pants versus flat front pants. So, as I mentioned pants before in their origins and up till now, those were all flat front style pants. They usually came around the belly button on the waist and just went straight down. Now, eventually you would have a crease that would follow down the leg, but the pleats, they came around much later. Now pleated, the pleated fold in general is nothing new. It's been around for decades. But pleats on pants did not come about until the late 20s, early 30s. They were really popular among Western menswear, and continued to flourish with the 40s and then on. Now, originally, so you had two styles. You had closed pleat and an open pleat. I have open pleat here, and I have a double pleat. There's single pleat, double pleat, triple pleat, and I have the double pleat. Mine are open, which mean they face outward. You also had closed that came in toward the pant, and that was kind of where pants got their start, was the closed pleat. It was Taylor Loren who came up with the pleats facing outward. And what brought the pleats about, they were a construct of sporting. With the pleats, you allowed yourself more material in the front of the pant. So when you're moving around different kind of sports and things like that, you have more room to move. So that was the main function of the pleat. But people really took to the sight lines. This was during the Art Deco period. So you had nice sight lines. You can see here with my pleats, they kind of just give a nice shape this way. They also have a way of elongating the torso. So it really plays nicely with a person's dimensions or proportions. And I just want to show you a few examples of origins of the pleated pants. Now I want to discuss the difference between pleated and flat front. I mentioned one difference is how they fit. Pleats, the more pleats you have, even like the triple pleats, you have more room in the pant. You can see here if I turn sideways and I kind of pull on those pleats, you see I have a lot of room here in the midsection. So if you're a more shapely person, they're great because they give you more room to in the torso area. A lot of your more Romanesque people, you'll see they wear their pants below the gut and they let the gut hang over. It's not a particularly great look. Now if you go up a few sizes on pants, you can bring them up on the waist, and when you have the pleats, that gives you even more room. It gives you a nice rounded shape, and then you have the sight lines that kind of pull everything down, and it just elongates the body and gives a more illusion of a more slender frame. So I like it for that reason. If you're a slender person, they're also great because it gives shape. So if you don't have shape, when you have like the pleats that come outward, it kind of adds like layers. So you have those sight lines of more going on here. They're also great if you're shorter because, again, like I said, it elongates the torso, so you're getting that look of elongating in the midsection and creating the illusion of something that isn't there. So that I like them for that reason. Now the flat fronts, nothing against the flat fronts. They're better for like a more casual pants, something you're going to wear a little lower on the waist. They're perfectly fine for that. Pleats, when you sit down, they hold their shape nicely, and the pants just kind of cascade down. Flat front, when you sit, you're going to notice you have like the material that bunches up and makes it look as if something is going on that possibly isn't. So there's some differences there, but the flat fronts, they do work good for a more casual look, and if you're doing And just, you know, whatever kind of activities you have going on, something you can wear a little lower on the waist and move around in, that's great. But for like classic menswear, if you're going for a more dressy look, I prefer the pleats myself. But again, it's a matter of personal preference. There's no real rule on that. Pleats were popular for a very long time. Flat front kind of became popular again throughout the 60s, the 70s, and then once you got into the 80s, and you have the power look and the big business, pleats came back. They followed into the 90s, that kind of fell out again. Now I think it's kind of mixed. Again, it's just what you like and what looks good on you. But I implore you to check them out. Gives you some different options, and just play around with your body types and see what looks good on you. So that was just a discussion on pleats and flat fronts. If you enjoyed my discussion today, like and subscribe at the bottom. Always let me know what you think in the comment section, and until next time.